Last time on The Flash, right here at Comicstorian. The Flash was attempting to learn as much as he could about the other forces. You see, not only is there the Speed Force, but there is the Strength Force, the Sage Force, and the Still Force. And in order to learn this information, he ended up betraying Iris, Wallace, and Avery, members of his Flash family. Recently, Steadfast, the wielder of the Still Force, allowed him to realize that the Speed Force may be connected to all of the forces on a different level other than having to battle against them. But today, it's time to begin the story of the death of the Speed Force. If you're wondering where you are, this is the Comicstorian channel, where we take some of your favorite pop culture universes, be it the lore within or the storylines on the outside, and we turn them into audio dramas. And if you enjoy this, please consider following us on Twitter at Comicstorian. But today, we're going to cover Flash, issue 76, 75, 77. And to know what happened before all of this, the playlist is down below. Everyone has heard the line that just before you die, your entire life flashes before your eyes. But for the Flash, he was given an opportunity to relive a very important year of his life. A time where he lost, but found hope. And right now, in Central City, Kid Flash and Avery could use a little hope as Tar Pit and Girder wear the two young heroes down. Everything that they throw at the bad guys just seems to bounce off, but as Tar Pit comes to the end of the fight, there's a red Flash that speeds by. As Tar Pit slams his fist into the ground, Flash picks up Kid Flash and Avery, telling them, "I thought the rogues were smart enough to skip town, but not the mighty Tar Pit and Girder, huh?" Kid Flash shouts to Flash, asking, "Where have you been? You can't just roll in and steal our thunder." And the Flash tells him, "You know, I was just lending a helping hand. These two are all yours, but I will remind you that hot tar doesn't react well with metal." Kid Flash begins to use his powers to push Tar Pit back, telling him, "You might not have said it, but this is another one of your Flash facts, isn't it?" And Avery runs up to the other side of Girder, telling Kid Flash, "Hey, we don't have time to debate. How about we see what happens when Tar Pit and Girder hit each other?" Avery positions herself, pushing Girder into Tar Pit, and as the two begin to touch, they begin to fuse into each other. Girder begins to shout that the tar is burning him, and Tar Pit yells that the metal doesn't feel real good either. And as the two stop struggling, Flash asks, "Do you promise to behave yourselves?" And they both shout, "Yes, fine, whatever, just do something already." So as the police arrive, Flash says that Star Labs has the right tool to separate Tar Pit and Girder. They'll be fine. Kid Flash then says that that's nice. "Well, see ya." And Flash stops him, going, Whoa. Hang on a second. There's something I need to show you." Kid Flash asks, "Why would I follow you anywhere? You betrayed us all." And Avery says, "Yeah, why should we? Last time I checked, when there was a family feud, you just up and left us." Flash tells him, Yeah, and I'm here to correct that. This is about more than my past mistakes." Kid Flash then says that he'll need more than a smile and words to show that he's changed. And he'd better not be doing this so that Iris will talk to him again. Flash pauses and tells him, "No, not at all. Me and Iris will talk when we're both ready. Just come with me and I can show you just how hard I've been trying. How about it?" So Flash takes off with Kid Flash and Avery following close behind. And as the two stop in front of a large building, Avery looks up asking, "You rebuilt it?" Flash tells her yes. The Flash Museum is back up and running, with a few changes. The three head back inside, and Flash tells them, "I felt like something was missing. Something that we needed as a team. And this is it." Kid Flash asks, "We needed a painting? That's it? You brought me here for that?" Flash vibrates his arm through the portrait, telling him, "Yes, but just wait. It's what's on the other side." Flash disappears through the wall, and Avery asks, "Are you buying it?" So Kid Flash sighs. This better be good. Once they go through the painting and vibrate through the wall, Kid Flash looks at the giant lab and asks, "You made a Batcave?" Commander Cold, an alternate version of Captain Cold from the future, tells him, "Actually, it's a speed lab. It uses my future tech to trap down escaped rogues, follow Trickster's plans, and keep an eye on new Force users and more. Whatever we need to protect Central City and beyond." Kid Flash says that it feels a lot like an absentee dad showing up with a new toy, thinking that all will be forgiven. "We have a lot of questions, Barry. And for starters, what's the deal with the guy in the robe giving me weird vibes?" Flash explains that this is Steadfast, the Still Force user. He's been helping Barry understand the new forces that have been unleashed and that are affecting the world. But not only that, there's not going to be any more lies between us, Wallace. Whatever questions you have, I'll answer them all. Kid Flash then asks, "Do you think you can handle my questions?" And Flash takes off his mask, telling him, "Go ahead, fire away." Meanwhile, over in Barcelona, a man runs through the streets as the police finally corner him inside of a local pizzeria. One officer draws his gun while the other tells him to be careful. He ripped the gas line out of the wall. The first officer says it'll be fine. He doesn't have his flamethrower. "Do you, Heatwave?" But Heatwave holds up a match, telling him, "Don't need it." Then he strikes it. The entire building explodes, and more officers rush to the scene and begin to surround Heatwave, telling him to freeze. But that's when another voice asks, Isn't that supposed to be my line? Suddenly, a blast of cold air begins to freeze the officers in place, and Heatwave asks, "Did you get your powers back, Cold?" And Captain Cold tells him, "Nah, my time behind bars in Belle Reve inspired me to upgrade my tech." As Heatwave takes the flamethrower from him, he asks, "Where did this beauty come from?" Captain Cold tells him, "Lex Luthor gave me the resources to up my game and made me an offer I can't refuse. But if this is too much..." Heatwave laughs, turning the flamethrower on. "You can save it. Whatever it is, I'm all in. But what's next?" Captain Cold starts freezing the police cars, asking, "What do you think? We're getting the gang back together." Back at the Speed Lab, Kid Flash asks, "What do you mean we're all getting slower?" Flash explains that the force barrier fell, and the Sage, the Still, and the Strength forces were freed. Things for Speed Force users have been getting worse with every step that they take. Kid Flash thinks back to when he did think that something was off. Fighting Tar Pit has never been that hard before. But what's wrong with the Speed Force? Steadfast answers him. The Speed Force is dying. The new forces were never meant to be freed. Their very existence hurts the Speed Force. And Kid Flash yells, "We can't lose our powers! It's like the worst time for that! The rogues are on the run!" Flash tells him, "Yeah, and so is Hunter Zolomon. He's out there as well now. There are more dangers in the world than ever before, and we need to operate smarter. It's time we ran again, as a family, Wallace. It won't be easy, but believe in me. What do you think?" The Flash waits for his answer, and that's when he feels that something is wrong. The Speed Force may be getting weaker, but he's still the fastest person in the room, and then it hits him. He can feel it before he can see it. The Black Flash! The Black Flash is faster than anything he's ever encountered before, and normally he'd use science or make use of his powers in a clever way, but right now there's no time. Flash punches the Black Flash into the computers, and Kid Flash asks, "What the hell is that?" Commander Cole tells him, "That is death. In the future, it's written that the Black Flash would appear whenever it's a speedster's time to become one with the Speed Force." Flash readies himself, telling him, "That means that one of us is gonna die, and as long as I'm here, it's not taking..." But the Black Flash runs past the group, with Kid Flash shouting, "Barry, it's not after us!" Black Flash grabs Steadfast by the throat, shouting, "New forces must die!" As Black Flash pins Steadfast down to absorb his strength, Flash rushes over, shouting, "No one is dying today!" He quickly snatches Steadfast, asking, "Why aren't you using the Still Force to fight back?" And Steadfast tells him, "Because the Black Flash can use our forces against us. The more we use them, the easier it'll be for him to track us." Flash then yells to the others, "All right, I have a plan. Crisscross formation on Kid Flash's mark." Soon, the three speedsters begin running in different directions, handing Steadfast to one another until the Black Flash screams, "Die!" creating a vortex, knocking Kid Flash and Avery to the ground. He sees Steadfast on the ground and he grabs the robes, and the head of a mannequin rolls out. The Black Flash begins to panic, looking around for someone, and when he finds no one, he screams, vibrating out of existence. Up ahead, Steadfast tells Flash, "All right, you were lucky. Imbuing my cloak with the Still Force aura worked. I can no longer feel the Black Flash pursuing us." Flash asks him, "How long though? If it's hunting the new Force users by their powers, what are you supposed to do? Not use them?" Commander Cold radios in, "Well, I did a scan and it seems the Black Flash is gone. The only information we have in the future on this guy is that he's trying to protect the Speed Force. It would appear that the Black Flash is acting as some sort of antibody. It's trying to save the Speed Force by killing off the other Force users." Flash tells Commander Cold to keep searching. They might not be seeing the Black Flash because it went for another target. So Kid Flash and Avery run back to the Speed Lab asking what can they do to help. An alarm goes off and Commander Cold tells them that ever since Trickster destroyed the Iron Heights, he's been monitoring police feeds and scanning for any mentions of escaped inmates. If they want to help, they can round up all of the escapees while Flash deals with the Black Flash. Meanwhile, over at Corto Maltese, Shark bites down on the Strength Force user's arm, Fiorza, asking, "Would you like to be Mrs. Shark?" Fiorza says, "It's a shame, really. I've been working so hard on my anger management issues. My therapist is really going to be disappointed." As she widens up Shark's mouth, he tries to ask what she is doing, and there's a loud crack. And he mumbles, "My blood, your blood, my dog." Fiorza then throws Shark into the sea, telling him, "I hope you like drinking through a straw." Now, Flash, what do you want? Flash stops, telling her, "We don't have to talk here, but we do have to go." Fiorza asks why would she go anywhere with someone that she doesn't trust. Steadfast walks up, telling her, "Flash is correct. We're all in danger. The forces that we each control have always been at war, and with war comes death. Death will not rest until all of the forces are destroyed." As Steadfast energy radiates, Fiorza tells him that she believes him. It's like her Strength Force is reaching out to him. "Fine, Where do you want to go now? Flash tells her that they have to go to Zondia and find Psyche. So a short while later at Zondia, Psyche scales a building and watches as a group of men ask what a foreign dignitary is doing in a corrupt city like this. Let's have a look at, but that's when a red Flash zooms by and Psyche shouts, "Damn it, Flash! You can't just pick up a guy like that!" Soon, Flash stops running, setting Psyche down, telling him, "Meet Fiorza and Steadfast. They're Force users like you, and you're all in great..." But Psyche stops him, telling him, "Hey, how about we just cut to the chase, man?" He uses the Sage Force to read the Flash's mind, and when he sees the Black Flash, he shouts, "Holy crap! What the hell is a Black Flash?" Fiorza sees the projection, asking, "Is that what's chasing us?" And Flash tells everyone, "All right, stay calm. We can work together and..." But Psyche stops him. "Hell no! You're lying! You have no idea how to stop this monster! It won't stop until we're all dead. As long as we don't use our powers, it can't follow us. And that ain't happening. Come here, Steadfast!" Psyche stares into Steadfast's eyes, and as he lets go, Steadfast begins to attack Flash and Fiorza under Psyche's command. Psyche then begins to run, shouting, "Hope you don't mind having Steadfast used as bait! Enjoy the fight, suckers!" Steadfast turns and begins to blast Flash and Fiorza with the Still Force. And Flash yells, "You're gonna get us all killed!" And Psyche stops, asking, "Really? You saw that thing, right? That Black Flash wants to kill us all to save the Speed Force." While Flash dodges Steadfast's attacks, he tells Psyche, "I don't want to do this! We can stop the Black Flash, but we have to work together." But Fiorza punches the ground, knocking Psyche over, telling him, "Just cut the positive act. If the Black Flash wants to kill this dummy, he's gonna have to get in line." While those two begin to fight, Flash charges at Steadfast, telling him, "I hope this works. When I relived my past battles with Turtle, I learned that the Speed Force and the Still Force are connected." As Steadfast slows Flash down, Flash transfers his speed energy into Steadfast's blast and sends it back, shocking Steadfast back to his senses. He begins to fall over, and Flash catches him, telling him, "I'm sorry about that. Gave me a bit of speed to help you snap out of it." And Steadfast tells him, "You shouldn't be the one apologizing. I abhor violence, and regardless of our opposite forces, I would never willingly attack you." As Flash helps Steadfast up, Fiorza climbs over a rock, asking, "Are you done yet? Psyche ditched us." Steadfast then says that he's trying to look for Psyche's force, but it seems to have disappeared. He may be using his powers to mask his presence from everyone. And Flash says that if he's using the Sage Force, then that's going to put a bullseye on his back for that Black Flash. If he keeps using his mind control powers, he's a dead man. Later, back at the Speed Lab, Commander Cole tells everyone that it's just as he thought. After some testing, each of the forces are in a chaotic state. They shouldn't all be on Earth at the same time. The Black Flash is a defense manifestation of the Speed Force itself, not a user. It's dying and it's giving off the same signature as the Flash. The Flash asks if that's so, then he should be able to track the Black Flash when he appears, right? And Commander Cole tells him, that is correct. Flash thinks for a moment and then says, I've made up my mind. Effective immediately, Steadfast and Fiorza, you cannot use your powers. Fiorza shouts, no way! The Strength Force will stop the Black Flash dead in its tracks. Commander Cole says that that's the thing. You can't. In the Flash archives, there are few details other than the fact that every Flash has encountered this thing at least once. And sure, you might be able to hold it off a little bit, but in the end, nothing can stop it. Flash sighs, stating, we gotta find a way. And Commander Cole tells him, I know all about this hope and optimism thing that's going on, but a smile's not gonna save the day here, Flash. This is death incarnate. Flash gets up to tell him, I'm not gonna fight it. I'm gonna outrace it. If the Speed Force dies, the Black Flash will die as well. So he walks off with Steadfast telling him that if that's the case, there will be no more Flashes. And Flash tells him, no, you'll be alive. No one is dying because of the Speed Force. No one. I'm gonna go find Psyche. Fiorza reaches out telling them, hey, this is our fight too. We're coming with you, Flash. But at that moment, Commander Cole freezes both Fiorza and Steadfast, telling them, sorry, but Flash is right. You'll thank me later. Flash looks back and Commander Cole tells him, those are power dampening restraints, one of my favorite tools in dealing with the Reverse Flash. Flash asks him, how long is it gonna hold? And Commander Cole tells him, an hour maybe? After that, Fiorza's gonna snap it like a twig. You might want to figure out what's gonna happen before then. But before he could finish, an alarm goes off and Commander Cole yells, there's a spike in Speed Force energy, it's a Black Flash! Seconds later, over in Scotland, Psyche stands on top of a moving train telling him, I just gotta keep moving. I can live on this train for years. And as Flash runs, he can feel the Black Flash getting closer and closer, and then run past him. As Psyche is crawling down into one of the cars, the lights go out, and then back on again, and he can sense it. And he says, I can sense you! What kind of trick are you? Oh my god, no! Flash jumps onto the train car, and as he heads inside, the Black Flash is draining the Sage energy until Psyche is no more. And there you have it, the conclusion to the first part of the Flash, Black Flash, Death of the Speed Force storyline. Now, if you want to know what happens next, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on that bell so that you get notifications that we've actually released a new video. And don't forget to follow us over at Twitter, at Comicstorian. And if you really enjoy our content, consider going to our Patreon and supporting us by getting early access to all of the content. Regardless of how you support us, I appreciate each and every one of you who watch these videos, and thank you for your time.